I like my money more than you and your ugly bicycle. My teeth are straighter and I'm prettier than you. Crap is poop. Hello! Today we're going to use an idiom, end of the day. We're also going to use a couple of pictures, and we're going to create conversations. Great! And of course we'll be using Google image search to look up some vocabulary. Fabulous! First, let's talk about what this idiom means. End of the day. Other ways to say this idiom are ultimately, in the end, after giving it some thought. So what it means is after taking all things into consideration. So you would say end of the day after you've thought about something. At the end of the day, I've decided. At the end of the day, I think I'm going to. Let's see an example. At the end of the day, we decided to reject your proposal to have a pink elephant welcome the new CEO. So if someone came up with the idea that, there's going to be a new CEO, a new chief executive officer coming to run the company, I think we should have a pink elephant there. I wonder what a pink elephant would look like. Let's check out Google image search. Let's see if anything comes up for pink elephant. Oh yeah. Now I imagine this is Photoshop, but it still looks kind of cool. So there's a pink elephant. This one looks kind of real. Okay, I'm losing focus. Okay, let's get back to our stuff. Let's be serious. Okay, so at the end of the day, we decided to reject your proposal to have a pink elephant welcome the new CEO. Someone thought it would be wild and crazy to do the welcome party and have a pink elephant. It would be kind of cool, actually, and you're very unique. Okay, let's move forward. Ready for our first picture? Here it is. Woo! Steve and Larry. And of course, let's describe the picture. So we have the idiom and going to make a conversation, but first we have Steve and Larry. And they're two old guys and they both have hats on. There's a bicycle, the location, the environment, the setting, where they are. I would say they're on a residential street. Residential means outside the city, not downtown. If you look around, you see trees, I see green grass. Looks like there's some sort of sign where they can post things. I don't know, pictures of dogs and pets and stuff. Maybe that's where you post lost and found for a dog that was lost or something. Or maybe for sale. I'm going to guess for sale because this is a lot of pets that would be lost. Okay, so they're somewhere in a residential neighborhood. I would think this is probably a house back here. And they're standing on the side of a street. You can see the street right here. It looks like maybe an intersection because there's a street running that way as well. So Steve and Larry are talking to each other. It looks like Steve is holding a bicycle. He's a little bit shorter than Larry. His hat is more like a baseball hat. And Larry's hat is a little bit different. It has a short brim. Brim is the part that comes out here. So Steve has a longer brim, so it would cover his face more if he's trying to be protected from the sun. Steve is holding on to the handlebars of the bicycle. Looks like the bicycle has a rack in the back where he can put something on top and maybe use bungee cords to strap it down. Do you know what bungee cords are? I think we could look up bungee cords. They're a useful tool for strapping things down. So this is a bungee cord. It has a hook on both sides. You can hook on one end, wrap up what you need, and then stretch it so it holds something tight. So these are bungee cords. Okay, let's go back. And it looks like it's kind of cold out because they both have coats on. Looks like Steve's coat's kind of a gray, maybe a light blue coat. I think he has, I'm not sure if he has a scarf on or he just has the sides of his coat pulled up near his chin. He has dark pants on, dark gloves on, and right. Larry has his hands in his pockets. Larry also has dark pants. His coat is a darker color than Steve's, and it looks like Larry has white hair that's coming out from underneath his hat. His hands are tucked into his pockets, so I would guess that maybe he's not wearing gloves, or if he's wearing gloves, maybe he just feels comfortable putting his hands in his pocket. We all have different stances, how we stand, and maybe when he talks, he puts his hands in his pocket. I don't know. The time of day, I'm going to guess that it's early morning. Maybe these guys are retired, meaning they don't have to work anymore. So they get up early in the morning, they walk, they do some exercise, and they chat about life or whatever. I bet it's kind of cold as well. There's no snow. However, just by how they're dressed up, wearing coats and gloves and long pants, I'm going to guess it's a bit chilly out. So if I describe this picture in just a couple sentences, I would say Steve and Larry met in the morning. Steve was going to ride his bike. They stopped for a moment to chat, and a neighbor took a picture of them. Okay, so let's see, what are they talking about? Steve is going to start the conversation. Here we go. Steve, at the end of the day, you're a lousy friend and you have bad breath. Not the beginning I was expecting. Larry, is this about me beating you at Texas Hold'em 40 years ago? Steve, of course. You bluffed me out of the pot that was going to change my life. Larry, at the end of the day, I like my money more than you and your ugly bicycle. First step, let's make the idiom bold. End of the day, they both say the idiom. Okay, before we get into the vocabulary, there's probably some words in here that maybe you don't understand. Let's do the conversation. Listen, here we go. Steve, at the end of the day, you're a lousy friend and you have bad breath. Larry, is this about me beating you at Texas Hold'em 40 years ago? Steve, of course. You bluffed me out of the pot that was going to change my life. Larry, at the end of the day, I like my money more than you and your ugly bicycle. I'm going to make a change here because this is an informal conversation. And when it's informal conversation, in my experience, it's much more common for people to say gonna instead of going to. So instead of you bluffed me out of the pot that was going to change my life, since he's a little bit upset, he's got exclamation at the beginning, he's got some emotion flowing, it's more likely that he would say, you bluffed me out of the pot that was gonna change my life. It just flows very nice to use gonna. Okay. So Steve says, at the end of the day, you're a lousy friend and you have bad breath. He could have said, ultimately, you know what I'm saying? This is what I mean. You're a lousy friend and you have bad breath. So maybe they'd been talking for a while and Steve had just kind of been going back and forth in his head and he was upset. And in his head, he made a conclusion. And so that's why he said at the end of the day, in conclusion, you're a lousy friend and you have bad breath. Larry, at the end of the day, I like my money more than you and your bicycle. He could say, after all, my conclusion, this is how I see things. I like my money more than you and your ugly bicycle. So Steve is, well, according to Steve, Larry is a lousy friend. What does lousy mean? Lousy here is an adjective. So it's describing something, and it's describing what kind of friend. And just from the context of the conversation, they're kind of arguing. You can see, well, Larry seems pretty relaxed, but Steve's upset. And lousy would be something that's negative. It means you're a bad friend. You're a horrible friend. You're a low quality friend. Lousy, the best explanation I can come up with for right now at the top of my head is low quality. Because you could say a lousy car, a lousy writing assignment, a lousy book, a lousy friend, a lousy partner. It's like low quality. They're not meeting your expectations, or something has gone wrong. And he's got bad breath, which could be easily fixed with a breath mint. Either way, so Larry is kind of thinking, why is Steve so upset? I think I have an idea. Is this about me beating you at Texas Hold'em 40 years ago? What is Texas Hold'em? We're not talking about the state of Texas. Just so we know what we're talking about, the state of Texas, just the word Texas all by itself. We'll put that in. So Texas is a part of the United States, and it's this big state down here, and here's its flag. However, we're talking about Texas Hold'em. Which is a poker game. Wow! Did you know that? So Texas Hold'em is a kind of game, poker. I haven't really played a lot of poker, but people, they sit around a table. We could look. We'll type in plain poker. And so people, they sit around the table, they have cards, and let's try to get a bigger picture. Okay? And they don't show each other their cards, and they try to get different combinations of the cards, all the same suit, which is like clubs, diamonds, spades, or a number, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 3 queens, 3 aces, 2 aces, a pair, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, stuff like that. And they have different rankings on what hand. A hand just means the 5 cards that would belong to you at the end of the betting and stuff. Whoever has the highest, they get all the money in the middle. So in this picture, they're all looking at me because I won. It looks like she's trying to look at his cards, but it doesn't matter because I've already won. So we already know that I have the best hand, or the best group of cards to win the money. These are the chips, they're called, and they're different colors. So I'm not sure what they are using it for here. Maybe red is worth like $10. Blue is 5 and green is 1, or maybe even more. Maybe it's high stakes. Maybe the red is worth like $1,000 or $10,000. So this would be a big amount of money. All right. So that is Texas Hold'em. So is this about me beating you at Texas Hold'em 40 years ago? He could have said, is this about me beating you at poker 40 years ago? Saying Texas Hold'em is a kind of poker, and it's being a specific kind of poker. And he could have just said poker, or that poker game 40 years ago. Steve, of course, you bluffed me out of the pot that was going to change my life. So there's 2 parts here that maybe I'm going to explain. Bluffed me, and the pot. So pot can be a couple of things. And this is a very specific situation. So in this context, it can only be one thing. But I'm going to show you what pot can be. Depending on who you hang out with, pot can be marijuana. And marijuana is, in most places, many countries, not all, it's an illegal drug. They smoke it and then they get high and stuff like that. So that would be pot. However, if we're talking about pot with poker and Texas Hold'em, it's a poker pot. So we saw it before briefly in the picture. The pot is all the money that you earn at the end of the poker hand. So when everybody's going around, they're betting, they're adding a little bit more money, or maybe they fold. Fold means that they put their cards down, they don't want to play anymore because they think they're probably going to lose. So as they go around the table, the amount of the pot grows bigger. The more that people want to play and they want to continue, they add more chips. Each one of these little things is called a chip. So they add in the poker chips, and the money goes, or the amount of chips goes higher. If you think you have really good cards, then maybe you want to put in more money, because then you can raise the amount of money in the pot, which means you have a potential to earn more money. Okay? So the pot, it represents money, and at the end, when the tournament or the game is all over, the person can take those chips and exchange them for money. And this would be a huge pot. This is a ton of money. Okay, and this guy is in love with his earnings. I would be too. 18 million. Okay, so in the conversation, he mentioned the pot. And the pot specifically is a poker pot in the game Texas Hold'em. So that's the first one part of the sentence. Then he said, "You bluffed me." So when he said you, he's talking to Larry. So Larry bluffed Steve. What does bluff mean? Well, bluff means to lie, but it's a strategic lie. And when you play the game of poker, you don't want people to think that you have a really strong hand, that you're going to win. Because if you let other people know that you have really good cards, they're not going to want to put more money in the pot to keep betting and make the pot grow. So the potential to earn a lot of money is down. But if you can convince people that they have a better hand, they have better cards than you do, you're bluffing them. So if you have a horrible hand, but you keep making moves and playing like you have a really strong hand, other people might be like, he could be bluffing, but I don't know. If he has a really good hand, if he has really good cards, then I don't want to play, so I'm just going to fold. I'm going to put my cards down and not play anymore. So bluff is specific. It means to lie. It's like misrepresenting what you have. And it's a strategic. It's it's done on purpose to try to make other people think that you have a weaker hand than you actually have. Because if you have a strong hand, or if you can convince them to stop playing, then you'll win. Okay, so I guess the hand, or that pot, the amount of money on the table, could have changed Steve's life. But Larry bluffed, and Steve lost. All right. So Steve and Larry, they might have been friends once. I don't know. Maybe they're not friends anymore, because Larry says, "I like my money more than you and your ugly bicycle." After all is said and done, when things are over, I like my money more than you and your ugly bicycle. Okay. All right, so that's conversation number 1. Let's move on to conversation number 2. And let's describe the picture. We got smiling people. Looks like there's 3 people here. 1, 2 are obvious. If we look down here, there's a hand holding, I don't know, a napkin maybe? I'm not sure. A flower? Piece of paper? I don't know. But there are 3 people at this table. The environment, it looks like a booth. At a restaurant, you can sit at a booth. I'm going to show you what a booth is. If you go into a restaurant and maybe the waitress said, "Oh, where would you like to sit?" Sit in a booth. So a booth is like 2 sofas that face each other, right? So this is the booth. It's usually more comfortable than chairs, and it's nice to relax. So this is 1, 2, 3 booths right there. So in the conversation, the people are sitting at a booth, and it's not a chair with tables, okay? And it's like a wooden table. The booth is a dark color. Behind, looks like a glass window, but it's a special kind of window where you can't really see through it, but it lets light in. It probably allows for more privacy. We have Becky, and we have Pam, and Let's start with Becky, I guess. Becky has a big smile on her face. Hooray! Looks like she's actually looking at the camera. So whoever's taking the picture, if it's this person or someone else, she's smiling. She's in a good mood. Looks like the dress code here, or the level of dress they're wearing, is business. So they both have like suit coats, they're called, or a blazer sometime. A dress coat on, and underneath is, I think, I'm not expert on women's clothes. I think she has a blouse. It's a dark colored blouse. The coat part is a light colored, like a light brown, maybe like a white. And Becky has curly hair, and it's short, but it's curly and it sticks out. It goes poof. Pam, let's see, she's dressed similarly to Becky. She has a similar kind of coat, a little bit different color and different style. It's gray color. Her shirt or her blouse looks kind of like a greenish, like a green color. She has glasses on. She's also smiling big, showing her teeth. Her smile is a little bit different than Becky's. Becky's is like an open mouth smile. Right? And Pam's is more of a closed mouth smile. Right? So they're both showing the teeth, just a little bit different smile. Pam has glasses on. It looks like the time of day is probably, I'm going to say morning or midday, because it seems bright out. A lot of natural light. Natural light is just light that comes straight from the sun. You don't have to use a lamp or bulbs or some sort of artificial light to brighten up the room. On the table, I would say this is like a business meeting, right? They have their planner. This whole thing right here is a planner. It will fold shut. It probably has a notebook calendar on it where it has all of the different days of the week, and they can update their schedule and write things for their appointments. I see 3 cell phones on the table. If we look close at this one, it looks like it's 10:24. And I'm going to guess it's pretty easy to say it's going to be in the morning, 10:24 a.m. There's a cup of coffee over here. It looks like a book here, or a journal, or maybe another planner. I'm not sure. There's a pen, and maybe that is part of a plate or an ashtray. I don't know. An ashtray is just where people tap their cigarettes and the ashes fall in. Okay, let's see what they're talking about. Oh, what can it be? Becky, at the end of the day, my teeth are straighter and I'm prettier than you. What a way to start. Pam, who cares? I'm much wealthier and I'm taking over your puny company. Becky, what? The rumors of your company buying ours is true? Impossible. Pam, at the end of the day, we eat crappy businesses like yours for breakfast. Whew, the mood is a little bit different than what the picture appears. I don't think I did a short description of the picture, so here's what the short description would be. Looks like a business meeting at a restaurant. We have at least 3 people present, and they're talking about something that involves business. And someone took a picture. Okay, back to the conversation. Let's make the idiom bold. We'll make it bold, and we'll make it jump out so we can see it. Okay, at the end of the day. So Becky says, at the end of the day, my teeth are straighter, and I'm prettier than you. In conclusion, when all is said and done, when push comes to shove, my teeth are straighter and I'm prettier than you. Pam, she also uses the idiom, at the end of the day, we eat crappy businesses like yours for breakfast. When all is said and done, when everything's finished, when it's all done, when it's all complete, we eat crappy businesses like yours for breakfast. Few things happen in this conversation. Let's talk about some of the expressions that are used. One is taking over. And this is a specific context because we're in a business context, a business meeting. It looks like from what we got in the conversation, Pam and Becky work at different companies, so separate businesses, but there's going to be a change. Pam's company is taking over Becky's company. Whether it was Pam's company bought them, whether Becky's company was just hurting and they sold to Pam, who knows? But something's happening and Pam's company is going to be taking control, taking over Becky's company. And something about Becky's company, Pam uses the word puny. It's a puny company. Let's put puny into Google search so we can just get a visual understanding of what it means. Puny. Puny means small, like insignificant. It's not important. So if these people are they're gonna arm wrestle, wow, this guy's arm is huge, and his opponent has a puny, weak, skinny little arm. I would say this guy's gonna win. Here you go, same thing. Look at how big this guy's arm is, and this guy's kind of small and puny compared to this. Right? So puny just means small, and puny is usually a negative thing. I mean, it just means small. You could say this is a puny puppy. Maybe you're comparing it to other puppies that are much bigger. In my experience, the word puny has a negative meaning to it. So in the conversation, that's exactly how it fits. Your puny company. So it's kind of an insult. Your small, insignificant company. Your puny company. Becky says, what? The rumors of your company buying ours is true? The rumors of your company taking over ours is true? Rumors, she could say, the information, the stories, what people are talking about. Rumors are things that people say, and we don't always know if they're true or not. Now, let's put in rumors. Maybe we can get a visual. So rumors, aha, psst. Did you hear that their company is going to buy our company? Something like that. So rumors are things that it's information that people share. And specifically rumors, it's not always sure if it's true or if it's partly true, kind of true, 100% false, 25% truth, 75% lie. That's the thing. That's the challenge with rumors. We don't always know if it's true. We don't always have enough information to see if a rumor is true or not. So there's information going around that people are talking about, rumors that Pam's company is going to buy Becky's company. Guess what? The rumors are true. Becky doesn't like it. She says impossible. And she probably likes it even less because she just insulted Pam. Remember? My teeth are straighter and I'm prettier than you. So that's an insult. She's saying Pam's not as pretty, and Pam's teeth are not as straight, which I would say is true. I'd say Becky's teeth are straighter than Pam's and look nicer than Pam's, but sometimes there's a lot of things that, even if it's true, it's not kind to say, it's not appropriate to say, so just leave it in your head. There's no need to make extra drama in the situation. Pam finishes the conversation by saying, at the end of the day, we eat crappy businesses like yours for breakfast. There are two things going on here. First, we have the adjective crappy. It's describing what kind of business Becky works for. But there's also a phrase in here which is kind of interesting. Eat for breakfast. And when we talk about eat for breakfast, eat something for breakfast, we're not talking about fruit, cereal, toast, eggs, whatever. This is specific. We eat crappy businesses like yours for breakfast. Crappy means low quality, lousy, bad, poor performing, just not good. Crappy can be used with just about anything. Crappy friend, crappy house, crappy music, crappy nightclub, crappy table, crappy book, whatever. Inside the word crappy is the word crap. And let's look at it on Google search just because it's good to know what words mean exactly. Crap is poop. Crap is another word for poop, right? This looks like it's funny crap to play a joke on someone. Okay, but crap is poop, and so if you're saying something is crappy, you're saying it's very low quality. It's kind of like poop, right? Poop is garbage and it's horrible and stinky and smelly and we don't want anything. So if you're describing something as being crappy, yeah, it sucks. So at the end of the day, we eat crappy businesses like yours for breakfast. And when she says we eat crappy businesses like yours for breakfast, she doesn't literally mean we chew and swallow and eat businesses like yours. No, she's talking more, it's like a challenge. It's like a put down. It's an insult. We take over businesses like yours like no tomorrow. We just, we come in and we control things. And your business is no challenge for us. We come in and we take over and it's just easy. We eat you guys for breakfast. It's easy. It's nothing. So that's kind of a useful one. If you're playing basketball or there's a basketball and you're playing against another team, we can eat you guys for breakfast. We eat players like you for breakfast. You're just saying, we're better than you and we can defeat you much easier. Where this conversation will go in the future, I think Becky is going to be apologizing. Maybe she won't be working there anymore. Maybe she'll quit. Either way, she's going to feel uncomfortable, awkward, strange, and probably regret saying what she did. Because Pam could just end up being her new boss. When there's a merger, when two companies come together or one company buys another company, lots of things can happen. They might get rid of the old employees. They might change who works for whose boss is where the employees are, what section they are. So Becky's probably like, silence is golden. Remember that idiom? Why did I say anything? Well, I think Pam is the one in control here. She has the power position. All right, that's the end of our second conversation. Today we use the idiom end of the day. In some pictures, two older fellows and two business women talking. And we created conversations. I had a wonderful time teaching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and have a wonderful day.